no matter how you spell it. Black hole or black hole? You know what you're referring to, or don't you? Let all your questions be answered as you read on. Why should you study about black holes? Black holes are one of the strangest theories put forward by scientists, but they're one of the most interesting as well. If you're looking for scientific matter that won't put you to sleep, a black hole is definitely one of them. Also, if you're experiencing difficulties understanding the laws of gravity, black holes will allow you a clearer, albeit more terrifying in some context, understanding of how gravity works. And lastly, if you're still torn up between the Big Bang Theory and the biblical version of creation, the theory of black holes will put all your doubts to rest. What are black holes? If you recall your old lessons on Greek mythology, you probably know the two terrors of the seas, Sia and Charybdis, and which Greek sailors are extremely afraid of. Sia was a monster that threatened anything and anyone that was within its reach, while Charybdis took shape of a massive mouth, creating whirlpools and causing people and ships to sink into oblivion. A black hole isn't a Sia, but it's definitely close to a Charybdis. A black hole is an incredibly vast region of blackness or nether space. This region contains an inordinate amount of mass, and because of this, anything that's within its orbit will be sucked in because of the pull of gravity. And before you start questioning once more about the mechanics of gravity and just what the heck Albert Einstein was talking about, here's how to understand black holes and gravity. Think of throwing a rock up in the air. It will go up for a short period of time before descending. Now, let's say that you have enough speed and force to throw the rock in the air and defeat the pull of gravity of Earth. This amount of speed and force is called escape velocity. Escape velocity is directly proportional to the mass of the planet or object. Escape velocity, however, is also affected by the distance of the object from the gravitational center of the region. Weight is different from mass. That's why, in Galileo's experiment, two different objects still fell to the ground in the same time. So when you're considering the pull of gravity, you should think about the region's mass and not the weight of the object. So let's go back to black holes. A black hole, because its mass is so much greater than its size, has an incredibly powerful gravitational pull. And that's why everything that comes near it will get sucked in with no chance of escape. How is a black hole formed? A black hole has a definite origin, but it's still unknown whether it has a definite end. A black hole is born from stars or any other enormous space object. Stars live for thousands and thousands of years, but they die eventually. Nuclear fusion exists within stars, and these produce electromagnetic radiation. As a star becomes older, the power that's behind its nuclear fusion decreases in proportion. When its source of power is completely used up, electromagnetic radiation naturally goes down as well, and consequently causing the star to collapse. If it has adequate size and mass, it will become a black hole. If it has insufficient size or mass, it will end up a neutron or dwarf star, and a good example of the latter is Pluto, which has been demoted from its previous ranking as a planet. Getting sucked in a black hole. Almost everyone who has studied about black holes are interested in knowing their fate if they were unlucky enough to fall into one. If that's what you want to know as well as prepare for your future. Let's say that you actually have the means of going into space, but you're unfortunate enough to fall into a black hole. Upon physically entering the region of blackness, your body will also enter a state of weightlessness, and it's like feeling that you're as light as a feather. As you go deeper, however, you'll feel that you're slowly being stretched. This feeling will continue stretching and stretching until you're finally stretched into several pieces. And that of course spells your end, and this discussion,